Hey, what's up, you awesome dudes? Welcome back to Anthem. Today we have some more news coming our way over from Bioware, and it's in regard of the Masterwork drops. Of course, we've talked about this yesterday, and you kind of already know how the story unfolded with all of the current controversy going on. And well, honestly, what week do we have without one Anthem controversy? Of course, that is the latest one with the drop rate, and it seems that most recently we also had a severe nerf in terms of Masterwork Ember drops, and we have a few clarifications on that. We also have some more hidden patch notes, and it seems that a lot of stuff has been brought up in the game with the previous update, with update 1.03, and it brought in a ton of changes that I've talked a little bit about, but we never knew the full extent of them. Well, we have a new tweet, well, a new series of tweets coming our way from the global community manager over at Anthem, which brings a lot of clarifications on that. So let's dive right into this, and I'm also going to give my 2 cents over this whole ordeal, if you want to put it like that. But yeah, the first tweet is coming our way from Jesse Anderson, and he says, I checked with the team and there was indeed a bug that was causing Masterwork Embers to have lower drop rates than intended. Team is working up on a fix to get the drop rates back up to what they were before the 1.03 update. And of course, you also have a lot of people in here talking more about the loot drops for Masterwork items and not really for the Embers, but at the very least we get a few clarifications on that. He later came in with an update, and he said, I posted some updates on a few issues and missing notes from patch 1.03, and of course we also have them right over here on the official answers.ea.com. That's basically the main EA forum where you can go ahead and report your problem. So the message starts like this: I don't have any answer on loot yet. The team is discussing and are looking at players' feedback and game telemetry. I'll show more on that as soon as I have an update. For this post I want to address the patch notes and missed items. It was not our intent to leave things out, but during the work of getting the update out the door, some things were missed. The community posts pointing out the things that were missing allowed me to go back to the team and verify what was missing or what might be a bug, so thank you for that, everyone. If you have anything else that you think is missing from the notes that didn't get addressed in this post, please let me know in the comments so that I can check with the team and get it added. And of course we also have the list which we'll check in just a bit, but obviously this was a result from trying to bring that update sooner rather than later. Obviously it was initially intended for today on the 12th of March, but since, well, they were clearly pressed by the newest game that dropped by, they wanted to bring that earlier in the hopes of fixing a few things. So yeah, a lot of things are being rushed currently at Bioware. Obviously they are in full meltdown, I believe. I mean, the competition just dropped another huge game, so obviously they tried to like bring everything up as fast as possible, and even the fan base wanted that update as fast as possible because we had a few game-breaking bugs that would pretty much stop your progression. So yeah, maybe that's why all of these unintended consequences have happened, so at the very least I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, in regards of the Masterwork loot drops, I'm going to talk about that in just a bit. Let's go over the Masterwork universal components that were added in patch 1.03, and these drops starting at Grandmaster 1. We have the Symbiotic Surge, I've talked about this previously. All of these have their certain effects, so I'm not going to go over in full detail about this. You can read it right now on the screen. They contain some pretty nice buffs, I might say, so it brings a little bit more diversity in terms of components, so you can kind of upgrade your Javelin a little bit more, make it a little bit more different, and some of these are really powerful, even though the armors that they give are not really that great. Masterwork Embers from harvesting nodes, this was the most recent annoyance coming from the fan base. I checked with the team and this was indeed bugged. The team is working on getting it fixed in tomorrow, March 12th, so it's probably going to come sometimes today if it didn't already do so. This will be a hotfix and won't require any patch to download. There's other changes in there as well. Colors now apply to launchers for the Ranger and Colossus Javelin in the Forge. Current value of daily, weekly and monthly challenges are intended. The values were different last month since Anthem launched on February 22nd, and the team wanted players to be able to obtain the rewards that month. And I've talked about this in the previous video, with many of the challenges for the weekly, daily and monthly being quite significantly increased. I mean, you're pretty much going to have to play every single day for quite a bit in order to get that monthly challenge, maybe with a few exceptions, but I believe that there's like 28 days that you need to pretty much play continuously in order to get them, and the rewards haven't been buffed in the process, so I'm not really sure what's going on with those. The following items have values that were not intended and will be changed back in the upcoming patch. If you see any other items with decreased values, it's likely a bug since there were no nerfs in this update. And of course we have the special arms damage component changed from 30% to 15%, confirmed to be a bug. Epic special arms ammo universal component changed from 30% to 15%, also a bug. But we have the more important ones like the Truth of Tarsus crit multiplier. This was a bug and a lot of people reported doing less damage, but yeah, it should have been 3.5, that should be like the multiplier. It was bugged and went down to like 2.3. Winter's Wrath, which is the ice storm ability, damage is incorrect, and this was also reported on Reddit. Chaotic Rhyme, the ice shards. Amulet of Winter also had its damage reduced from 40% to 20%, again a bug. So yeah, these are just some of the changes that have happened and that have affected the game, unfortunately. A lot of bugs, a lot of unintended consequences, and of course we also have a lot of replies here from people expressing their concerns and reporting some other problems with the game. Now, let's go over the Masterwork loot drops and how things unfolded in the past few days. It's clear that the vast majority of people online do want to see an increase in the amount of loot drops, specifically the ones that matter. Currently right now you can pretty much fall into like two positions. Either you're lucky and you're constantly getting Masterworks and constantly able to like upgrade your javelin, whichever it is that you play. Either you fall into the other category and you're completely unlucky, get absolutely nothing, you don't see any legendaries, any Masterworks outside of the ones that are guaranteed each day. And I'm seeing a mix of both of these kinds of players online, which kind of begs the question, is there a further problem rather than just the Masterworks that aren't dropping properly? Because if a certain part of the player base can get a ton of items and can equip itself and the other ones can't, it might not be fully resting on RNG. Like one of my friends, for example, is constantly getting legendaries, meanwhile none of us can do that. Of course we are able to get Masterworks and all of that, but his luck is a little bit too off the charts to even consider it something, you know, RNG or luck based or anything at chance or random. In fact, there's a very big discrepancy between the comments that I'm seeing on my channel and the ones that I'm seeing on Reddit. The vast majority of you guys who are watching my videos have been reporting that you're still getting good loot, you're getting Masterworks, you feel rewarded, and you are able to upgrade your javelins and pretty much build whatever loadouts is that you want. Meanwhile, I'm tuning in on Reddit and I'm seeing a lot of people complaining not getting anything for 2 weeks. And I'm not really sure what's happening here. I'm not really sure if people are simply not playing the game properly or aren't doing things on the Grandmaster difficulty or not doing it in an efficient way. Not really sure why that is the problem, but I think there's a mix of both things. I think there's a mix of the loot in general not being that great and people reporting without actually testing fully what they're talking about. And I've seen people complaining about Masterwork drops even though they weren't even level 30. That is something that I've seen over on Reddit, and I wish I saved those replies, but unfortunately it's been too long now to even like go to it. But what I'm trying to say is that the loot system does need an update anyway. I've talked about loot 2.0 in the past, and no, this is not me complaining about Anthem or anything. I'm still enjoying the game and playing, and I do feel quite rewarded. I mean, compared to how I used to play MMORPGs back in the days, this definitely feels rewarding. I mean, I used to go weeks at a time without getting a single item, let alone epics, greens and whatnot. Like Anthem pretty much showers you in. In the meantime, at the very least, we get to have those Masterwork Embers from the harvesting nodes being buffed up to the levels that they should have been to, and I think that was a good decision coming from Bioware to come up with an update right now. Now with the Division 2 launching, what does this mean for this channel? And I'm sure many of you are probably wondering about this because you have been asking me in yesterday's live stream, and I mean, many of you probably already know by now that I'm planning to cover both the games. I'm not going to like abandon one over the other. I'm still going to play Anthem for the gameplay because I find it fun. Yes, it has its problems, but I think Bioware has all the interest in the world to fix it, and I see it being in a much better position a few months down the line. An unfortunate situation and unfortunate result which they should have probably learned from in the past and from the past games that have done this up until now. In the meantime, we have the Division 2. If you find it fun, you can go ahead and check it out. I am going to post guides on it as well, and I'm going to keep both of these games on my channel as a focus for the foreseeable future. And I think that is obvious by now, since I posted both Anthem and Division 2 content up until now, and even yesterday I posted like 2 Anthem videos and 1 live stream, and today is going to be pretty much the same. But yeah, that's all there is with the news today, guys. This is all that we have for now. If there's anything else coming up, I'm going to keep you guys updated. In the meantime, of course, a thumbs up would be greatly appreciated, so make sure to hit that like button. Also, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of Anthem, and I'll see you guys next time, so peace out.